The door slammed shut with a thunderous crack that echoed through the quiet suburban street of Willow Creek, Illinois. As Nicholas stumbled backward onto the wet porch, his backpack slung over one shoulder. "You're no son of mine, you disgusting faggot!" His father's voice roared from inside, the words slicing through the air like a knife, leaving Nicholas frozen in the pouring rain. In that moment, as headlights from passing cars illuminated his tear-streaked face, Nicholas realized his world had shattered. Not just his home, but the fragile illusion of acceptance he'd clung to for years. Nicholas trudged down the driveway, his sneakers squelching in the puddles, the chill of the autumn evening seeping into his bones. Willow Creek was one of those picture-perfect Midwestern towns where everyone knew everyone's business. From the Friday night football games at the high school to the Sunday potlucks at First Baptist Church. His father, Robert Harlan, was a pillar of the community, a retired factory foreman turned local councilman, known for his firm handshake and even firmer opinions on traditional values. Nicholas had always known coming out would be risky, but he never imagined it would end like this. Disowned at 22, with nothing but the clothes on his back and a few $100 in his wallet. He pulled out his phone, fingers trembling as he dialed his best friend, Jamie. "Hey man, it's me. Dad. He found out. Kicked me out. Can I crash at your place?" There was a pause on the other end, then Jamie's hesitant voice. "Nick, I don't know. My folks are pretty conservative. What if they ask questions?" The rejection stung worse than the rain. Nicholas hung up, feeling the weight of isolation crush him. He headed toward the only place he could think of, the old bus station on the edge of town, where he could catch a Greyhound to Chicago, a city big enough to swallow his pain. As the bus rumbled through the night, Nicholas stared out the window at the fading lights of Willow Creek. Memories flooded him. Sneaking kisses with his high school crush, Alex, behind the bleachers. The secret dates in cornfields under starlit skies. The fear of being discovered in a town where being gay meant whispers and sidelong glances. Alex had left for college 2 years ago, and their fling had fizzled, but it had awakened something in Nicholas. A deep, aching need for authenticity. He'd come out to his mom first, but she passed away from cancer last year, leaving him alone with a father who buried his grief in beer and Fox News rants. Chicago welcomed him with its chaotic energy, the skyscrapers towering like indifferent giants. Nicholas found a cheap motel room and spent the next few days job hunting. He landed a gig as a barista at a cozy coffee shop in Boys Town, the city's vibrant gay neighborhood. The rainbow flags fluttering in the wind felt like a lifeline. There, amid the aroma of fresh brews and the chatter of patrons, he met Ethan, a charming graphic designer with a warm smile and eyes that sparkled like the lakefront at dawn. Ethan was everything Nicholas had dreamed of: open, confident, and unapologetically himself. Their first date was at a rooftop bar overlooking the city. "So, what's your story, handsome?" Ethan asked, sipping a craft beer. Nicholas hesitated, then poured it all out, the rejection, the pain, the fear of never belonging. Ethan listened, his hand gently covering Nicholas's. "You're not alone anymore," he whispered, pulling him into a kiss that tasted like hope. For the first time in weeks, Nicholas felt seen, not as a secret or a shame, but as a man worthy of love. As months passed, their relationship blossomed. Ethan introduced Nicholas to his circle of friends, artists, activists, and everyday folks living their truths. They attended pride parades, danced in clubs pulsing with bass, and shared quiet nights cooking pasta in Ethan's loft. Nicholas enrolled in community college, studying graphic design, inspired by Ethan's passion. But beneath the surface, doubts lingered. Late at night, Nicholas would scroll through old photos of Willow Creek, wondering if his father ever regretted his words. Back in Willow Creek, Robert Harlan threw himself into his council duties, pushing for family-friendly policies that subtly targeted the LGBTQ+ community. He hosted barbecues where neighbors nodded along to his tirades about the liberal agenda ruining America. But cracks were forming. His health had been declining, high blood pressure from years of stress and poor habits. One evening, after a heated town hall meeting, he collapsed in his living room, clutching his chest. The paramedics rushed him to the hospital, where doctors diagnosed a mild heart attack. Alone in his bed, Robert stared at the ceiling, memories of Nicholas's childhood flashing by, teaching him to ride a bike, cheering at Little League games. For the first time, regret gnawed at him. Nicholas got the call from an old neighbor. "Your dad's in the hospital, kid. Thought you should know." His heart raced. Part of him wanted to ignore it, to let karma do its work. But another part, the boy who still loved his father, booked a bus ticket home. Ethan offered to come, but Nicholas insisted on going alone. "I need to face this myself," he said, kissing Ethan goodbye. Arriving in Willow Creek felt like stepping into a time warp. The familiar streets stirred a mix of nostalgia and nausea. At the hospital, Robert looked frail, hooked to machines. "Dad," Nicholas said softly, entering the room. Robert's eyes widened. "Nick? You came." Tears welled up. I'm sorry. I was wrong. So damn wrong." Nicholas sat beside him, holding his hand. It wasn't forgiveness, not yet, but it was a start. As word spread, the town buzzed. The councilman's gay son, back after being kicked out? Whispers turned to conversations. Some neighbors reached out with apologies. Others with support. Nicholas spent days by his father's side, sharing stories of his new life. Robert listened, his worldview shifting. "I was scared, son. Scared of what I didn't understand." Nicholas nodded. "I know, Dad. But love isn't something to fear." The reconciliation wasn't instant. Robert's recovery was slow, marked by physical therapy and tough talks. Nicholas commuted between Chicago and Willow Creek, balancing his budding career and relationship with this unexpected bridge building. Ethan was supportive, but tensions arose. "How can you forgive him so easily?" Ethan asked one night as they lay in bed. "He hurt you, Nick. Threw you out like trash." Nicholas sighed. "It's not easy, but he's my dad, and people can change." Back in Willow Creek, Robert began questioning his old beliefs. He attended a PFLAG meeting in a nearby city, listening to parents share stories similar to his. It opened his eyes. At the next town council meeting, he shocked everyone by voting against a proposed ban on pride events. "I've learned that family comes in all forms," he declared, his voice steady. Murmurs rippled through the room. Some applauded. Others glared. Nicholas's visits became more frequent. He introduced Ethan to Robert over an awkward dinner at the family home, the same place where he'd been cast out. Ethan was polite but guarded. Robert tried. "So, you're a designer? That's creative work." Ethan nodded. "Yeah, it is. Helps me express who I am." The evening ended civilly, but Nicholas sensed undercurrents. Enter Mark, Ethan's ex, a charismatic photographer who'd reappeared in their lives. Mark and Ethan had history, a passionate but toxic relationship that ended badly. Now, Mark was back in Chicago for a gallery show, and he reached out. Ethan mentioned it casually, but Nicholas noticed the lingering glances when they bumped into Mark at a bar. Jealousy festered. "You still have feelings for him?" Nicholas accused one night after an argument. Ethan denied it, but doubt seeded. The betrayal hit like a storm. Nicholas came home early from a class to find Ethan and Mark on the couch, lips locked in a heated kiss. Time froze. "Nick, it's not what—" Ethan stammered, but Nicholas bolted, heart shattering anew. He wandered the streets, rain mirroring his tears, just like that night in Willow Creek. How could love betray him again? He called Robert, who listened patiently. "Come home, son. We'll figure it out." Nicholas returned to Willow Creek, crashing in his old room. Robert, now stronger, offered quiet wisdom. "Love hurts, but it also heals. Give it time." Nicholas threw himself into helping with town events, organizing a community fair to promote inclusivity. The work distracted him, and he bonded with locals who'd evolved, like Mrs. Thompson, the librarian, who started a LGBTQ+ book club. Ethan showed up weeks later, remorseful. "I messed up, Nick. Mark was a mistake, a relapse. I love you." Nicholas's heart wavered. They talked for hours, tears flowing. Forgiveness came slowly, built on therapy sessions and honest communication. Their reunion was tentative but real, a testament to resilience. Meanwhile, Robert's transformation deepened. He publicly apologized at a town hall for his past bigotry, sharing Nicholas's story, with permission. "I kicked out my own son because of fear, but karma, it gave me a heart attack and a second chance." The speech went viral locally, inspiring change. Willow Creek's first Pride picnic was planned, with Robert as a speaker. But conflict brewed. A group of conservative residents, led by old friend Harlan buddy Tom Reynolds, opposed it. "This town's going to hell," Tom ranted at a meeting. Tensions escalated when vandalism hit the fairgrounds. Rainbow flags torn down, slurs spray-painted. Nicholas felt targeted, but he stood firm. "We won't back down," he told Ethan, who joined him in Willow Creek. The high school principal, Ms. Garcia, a Latina woman with a progressive streak, rallied support. "This is America, land of the free. Let's show it." Nicholas and Ethan worked tirelessly, turning the fair into a symbol of unity. As the event approached, anonymous threats arrived, but the community pushed back. On the day of the picnic, crowds gathered under sunny skies. Robert took the stage, voice booming, "I was wrong about so many things, but my son taught me love is love." Applause thundered. Nicholas and Ethan shared a kiss amid cheers, feeling the town's shift. Yet karma wasn't done. That night, Tom Reynolds suffered a freak accident. His truck skidded on black ice, totaling it. He survived, but the scare humbled him. Visiting the hospital, Robert extended an olive branch. "We all deserve second chances, Tom." Tom nodded, tears in his eyes. "Maybe you're right." Nicholas's life intertwined Chicago's vibrancy with Willow Creek's roots. He and Ethan moved in together, planning a future. Robert, fully recovered, became an advocate, speaking at events across Illinois. As seasons changed, Nicholas's story rippled outward. A local journalist, Sarah Klein, wrote a feature on the Harlan family's journey, titled "From Rejection to Redemption." It caught the eye of national media, landing Nicholas and Robert on a morning talk show in New York. "What made you change?" the host asked Robert. "Losing my son, and nearly my life, showed me what matters," he replied, gripping Nicholas's hand. The segment touched hearts, sparking dialogues in homes across America. Back home, challenges persisted. Ethan's betrayal lingered like a scar, testing their bond. During a couple's retreat in the Michigan dunes, they confronted it head-on. "I was scared of commitment," Ethan admitted under starry skies. "But you're my forever." Nicholas forgave, but trust rebuilt brick by brick. Their love deepened, laced with romance. Surprise picnics by Lake Michigan, slow dances in the kitchen, whispered promises at dawn. In Willow Creek, the Pride Picnic became an annual tradition, growing each year. Nicholas volunteered, mentoring young LGBTQ+ kids navigating coming out. One teen, Luca, reminded him of himself, scared, alone. "My parents don't get it," Luca confided. Nicholas shared his story. "It gets better, and sometimes they come around." Luca's smile was reward enough. Robert's activism drew backlash. Protesters picketed his home, chanting slurs. One night, a brick shattered the window, inscribed with hate. Nicholas rushed over, finding Robert shaken but defiant. "This is what you faced, son. Now I understand." Together, they reported it, turning the incident into a rally for tolerance. The town sheriff, a former skeptic, arrested the culprits. Local youths influenced by online echo chambers. Amid the drama, romance flourished. Ethan proposed on a Chicago rooftop, the city lights twinkling like diamonds. "Nicholas Harlan, will you marry me?" he asked, kneeling with a simple band. Tears streamed as Nicholas said yes, pulling him into an embrace. Wedding planning blended Midwestern charm with urban flair. A ceremony in Willow Creek's park, reception in Chicago. But fate twisted again. Robert's health faltered. Tests revealed early-stage prostate cancer. "Karma's got a sick sense of humor," he joked bitterly. Nicholas moved back temporarily, supporting through chemo. Ethan commuted, their trio forming an unlikely family. Late-night talks revealed depths. Robert's own repressed youth, a fleeting crush on an army buddy buried deep. "I was afraid like you," he confessed. Nicholas hugged him. "We're free now." The wedding approached amid treatment. Guests included Willow Creek neighbors, Chicago friends, even reform skeptics like Tom. Luca served as ring bearer. Vows exchanged under blooming cherry trees. In sickness and health, through storms and sun, Nicholas promised. Ethan echoed, eyes shining. Robert, weak but beaming, walked Nicholas down the aisle. A poignant reversal. Post-wedding, the town celebrated, but whispers of scandal emerged. Sarah Klein uncovered dirt. Tom had embezzled town funds for years, funding anti-LGBTQ campaigns. Exposed, he faced charges, his empire crumbling. Karma, Robert muttered, watching the news. The shockwave hit Willow Creek. Council reshuffled. Inclusivity policies enacted. Nicholas and Ethan's honeymoon in Hawaii was bliss, sunsets, surf, stolen kisses. Returning, they adopted a rescue dog, symbolizing new beginnings. Robert's cancer went into remission, crediting love's power. "You saved me, son," he said at a family dinner. Years blurred. Nicholas's design firm thrived, specializing in queer art. Ethan photographed social justice campaigns. They fostered kids, providing the home Nicholas once lost. Willow Creek evolved, a safe haven, its story inspiring others. One evening, at a town memorial for LGBTQ+ rights, Nicholas spoke. "From a slammed door to open arms, this is our America, messy, painful, beautiful." Applause echoed, but his eyes met Robert's, sharing silent gratitude. Ethan squeezed his hand. "We've come far," Nicholas smiled, "and we've got farther to go." The sun set over Willow Creek, casting golden hues on a town forever changed. Karma, it seemed, had woven redemption from ruin. Decades later, Nicholas looked back on that fateful night as the catalyst for a life rich in meaning. Now in his 50s, with salt and pepper hair and laugh lines etched by joy and sorrow, he sat on the porch of the Harlan family home, now his and Ethan's retreat from Chicago's hustle. Robert had passed peacefully 5 years ago, leaving a legacy of change. His gravestone read, "Loving father, humble learner." The town had transformed. Willow Creek boasted a thriving LGBTQ+ center, named after Robert. Nicholas chaired it, hosting workshops and support groups. Young folks shared stories mirroring his own, finding solace in his wisdom. "Pain shapes us, but love defines us," he'd say, echoing lessons hard won. Ethan, ever the artist, captured moments in photos. Their adopted son, Jamie, named after the friend who once turned away, graduating college, pride parades swelling with allies, quiet anniversaries by the lake. Their marriage endured storms. Infidelities forgiven, losses grieved, but emerged stronger, a beacon of enduring romance. Flashbacks haunted Nicholas sometimes. The rain-soaked eviction, Ethan's kiss with Mark, Robert's hospital bed. Each a turning point, laced with humanity's flaws. Betrayal taught trust's fragility. Conflict birthed growth. The town's shock at karma's twists, Tom's downfall, Robert's redemption, proved life's unpredictability. One crisp fall day, Luca, now a teacher, visited with his partner. "You inspired me, Nick. Changed everything." Nicholas hugged him. "We all did. Together." As evening fell, Nicholas and Ethan walked hand in hand through cornfields, reminiscing. "Remember our first kiss?" Ethan asked. Nicholas grinned. "How could I forget? You tasted like freedom." Their story spread via books and podcasts, a narrative of resilience. Nicholas penned a memoir. Doors slammed, hearts opened, donating proceeds to queer youth. Reviews praised its raw emotion. A quintessentially American tale of love conquering hate. In quiet moments, Nicholas pondered karma's role. Was it divine justice or human choice? Robert's heart attack forced reflection. Tom's greed led to ruin. But Nicholas's forgiveness? That was agency, choosing light over darkness. The whole town felt the shockwaves. Once divided neighbors now shared barbecues, rainbow flags alongside American ones. Willow Creek became a model for rural inclusivity, drawing visitors seeking hope. Nicholas's final reflection came at Jamie's wedding, a joyous affair blending traditions. Toasting, he said, "Life kicks us out sometimes, but karma? It invites us back, transformed." As stars twinkled, Nicholas leaned into Ethan. "We've built something beautiful." Ethan kissed him. "And it's just the beginning." In the end, the story wasn't about punishment, but possibility. From a father's rage to a community's embrace, it wove kismet with kindness. A deeply human, profoundly American odyssey.